Good morning, beautiful people. Good morning. Good morning. And I will never get nobody name up. They was like, is that a wig? What was that? I said, I don't know. I don't do hair. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna say the other women that was in there. Some that the parents, they was laughing at the gym with me this morning. They said, we know you gonna put them hairstyles. I said, I am. So I know, because we got 130. I said, I am. I'm gonna put it up there. Now, one downvote is Liddell or Kansas. I'm not messing with it.
Rocket.
But look who they said that was Crockett. You got Stephen A. Smith attacking her now. Jasmine Crockett.
Attacking our whole nationality, so it ain't nothing new with him. He's the fastest racer. He all that. He let you know who he is. He ain't holding them up.
But he black.
Stephen Miller ain't.
No, Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, man.
I'm talking about Stephen A. Smith. You ain't see how they said, I said, y'all wrong. Y'all wrong. I mean, listen, hey. Some laugh with you, some laugh at you. They laughed at me plenty of times. I laughing too, shit. But hey, it is what it is. But boy, we was rolling. They was like, you gonna put them pictures up? I said, I am. She the one brought up content. She said, oh, they trying to use stuff for content. I said, well, she gave it to me. This what I have wanted to say. I was watching one guy. I was looking for his video. And he was talking about, like in Chicago, when they raided the hotel. And I get both sides, not the hotel, the apartment complex. But, and as he was breaking it down, and it was like what they doing is, what they not telling people is, and it's bad on both sides, but these was the ones that the Democrats had. Remember when they took them to Martha's Vineyard and everything?
Yeah.
What's up?
I can't. I just can't fathom that, right? Like, I'm still stuck on, you touch my kids, I'm touching you. It's that serious. And the fact that he's just letting this man skate by, but a dude who does something peaceful, that rallies the community to do something peaceful, right? How often do we see people today get groups of people together, rile them up, and go set them loose? Jed Stratton gathered a group of people, got them focused, and did something productive, and he's the fucking monster? This is some bull.
Are we here? How y'all doing, family? Top of the morning.
That introduction.
Okay. I was like,
The moral here.
Okay.
James,
I thought we was in a new show.
And it's the recall.
okay. I'm here for the intro. What's up, family?
Always have things cooking up in the back. I said, give us a second. Give us a second. And it's $5 Friday. You heard? Concrete Jungle with the $4.99. You heard? Gotta tell y'all it's $5 Friday. What it do? What it do? Good morning. Good morning. Kobe Fatty, aka Elizabeth P. Finney, in the building. Shantae Rollins from Chicago. You heard? This where we at. This where we at. Where everybody at? Let me do it properly. We got Asaya Quill, aka Mama Quill, in the building. Meat Freaks Barbecue and tapped in. You heard Tony Terry coming in from Miami-Dade County. 305 in the building. What's up, No Games? Concrete Jungle is in the building. Christine Chandler, how you doing, beloved? Cassandra Scott, Terry Nixon in the building. Hope Beasley, how y'all doing? I ain't going. I wouldn't let y'all leave me. And we got the lovely Michelle Smith, aka, and plus her husband is in the building. Y'all gotta give a shout out to Trevor. I had him working. He been working, on the intro and stuff. Salty Chef, what it do? And we got the lovely Deborah O'Neill is in the building. And the lovely Carolyn Hendricks, you heard? Y'all know we're gonna be over here working and everything. Terry Nixon, we gonna do number work over here. Wanda Smith, how you doing? How you doing? We ain't doing nothing but working over here. I done found me a Dr. Dre. No, not a Dr. Dre. I found me a Scott Storch, and his name is Trevor.
We got Trevor for the jazzy intro. I like
What's
it.
up, Miss Odie? Facts. Omar Thorpe in the building. How you doing? I'm trying to tell you. I'm telling you. I found me a Scott Storch for people who hip hop heads or producers that know who Scott Storch is.
New revenue for 810 News Media Group unlocked. We'll do your intros for a small fee.
Facts. How y'all doing? How y'all lovely ladies doing? I'm seeing this morning. I know y'all don't like to wake up early.
Oh man, that's lies. We gotta wake up early around here. We are mothers, okay? And we live in DC. You can't stay sleeping around here, man. You never know when you gotta hit the run. You know, you gotta pack it up and hit it. Up north, down south, where we going?
For sure with the $4.99. Thank you, beloved. Hey, yeah, it's all sunny over there with y'all. It's a little cloudy over here.
It's sunny
I'm
over here.
on Skid Row. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what it look like outside. I'm in the bricks.
I'm in the basement. Come on, family. Like Omar said, it's Friday. Y'all honk smash that button. I mean, hit it.
It don't cost you nothing to press the button.
It's cold out here. It's cold out here, but these suckers still wearing shorts.
It is cold, you know.
Don't cost you nothing. Hit that $5. We need it. I see Witches done tapped in. She done tapped in this morning. Constance, good morning. Thank you for tapping in. So what's up, ladies? What's been going on the horizon? I see y'all somebody done tripped Mitch McConnell, who threw the banana on the floor. I don't like this stuff, how y'all playing in DC.
It was the ghost of our ancestors that was doing the work.
I don't like it one bit. I'm telling you, I don't like it. Mitch ain't done nothing to nobody.
What are you? What side of history you reading? Because that man is dastardly. That man. Listen, we can't help that our ancestors be lurking around doing the work, the good work. He didn't.
Miss Garage.
Or it could be that, you know, he was trying to avoid answering the question and he just was like, you know, oopsie daisy. He might have just took one for the team. We don't know. I wasn't me. I'm just speculating.
I feel like somebody tripped him purposely. I'm not going to say it. I just feel like maybe they left a little water down there. Tripping them ain't going to change nothing.
I mean, to be
fair, they all tripping. but they all slipping up. I know y'all saw whatever this damn lunatic named Miller said the other day, and then he went like this.
I played that when he's sitting up. He got caught lying. I played.
Yeah, because they can't lie but so much. They can only lie but so much, and then the truth start coming out. They be like, "Oh shit, control my mouth."
But what did you feel about that though?
With the great glitch.
You talking about with Stephen Miller?
Yeah, Stephen Miller when he said that, and then because he caught himself.
Mm-hmm. It was the edit for me for CNN when they if you didn't catch it in real time, they tried to what they call it, the Mandela effect, where they try to make you feel like it didn't happen. Fact. But you know, of course, people watching because you gotta pay attention these days. So it was the loop of how once they started replaying that moment, CNN had cut it out. So it was the edit for me. I was just like, this is diabolical.
I'm gonna play it for y'all. Hold on 1 second. I think I found it. Oh, here you go. 1 second.
George would say he stood on a banana trying to put a banana in the tailpipe. Probably so.
Who did I miss that just came in? Okay. Jazzy Melanie, thank you for tapping in. Okay, I got it for y'all, ladies. Hold on, let me put this up. Because I do want to see what's y'all take on it, though. Let me see what y'all take on it. Because y'all in D.C., you heard. Mr. Classic tapped in. Good morning, good brother.
We in D.C., but then Republican Congress, House of Representatives ain't in D.C. They all went home.
Huh?
Yeah,
the House of Representatives ain't in D.C.?
It is, but they don't be.
No, they all went home. The Republicans went home when they supposed to be here. Now the Republican Senates are still here. It's the House of Representatives. They done with the Mike Johnson, whatever his damn name is. They all left. That's what they do.
Oh, let me play this for y'all 1 second. This is what you talking about, Anna. Hold on.
So remember that. Well, the administration filed an appeal this morning with the Ninth Circuit I would note the administration won an identical case in the Ninth Circuit just a few months ago with respect to the federalizing of the California National Guard. Under Title 10 of the U.S. Code, the president has plenary authority. Stephen? Stephen?
And then the anchor was like, oh, we seem to have some kind of a technical glitch. No, if you had a technical glitch, he wouldn't have stopped talking and been looking back. You saw how he was looking around. He knows he fucked up. He said plenary authority. Now, what does that mean? Well, by strict dictionary definition, it means absolute. Because that shit is straight out of Project 2025 saying that Trump has absolute power. You know, like in Russia or North Korea. I'm sure you won't be shocked to learn that Title 10 does not say that the president has absolute power. Title 10 describes the many ways the president can deploy the military or the National Guard, but it also says he has to abide by the Constitution. It does say that in certain cases of insurrection, if he deploys the Insurrection Act, that the president can order the military to do domestic policing. It is the one way they can go against the Posse Comitatus Act, which he's basically been ignoring anyway. But also, the War Powers Resolution states that if the president does that, he can only do that with the U.S. troops for 60 days. I bet he didn't know that. And that is why he and people like Stephen Miller are constantly calling what's happening in these peaceful cities an insurrection, because they want to lay the groundwork to be like, see, we said it was an insurrection, so now we got to do the Insurrection Act. He is marching his stormtroopers into these cities where nothing is fucking happening and the governors are telling him nothing's happening. And then when the people peacefully protest that military occupation, he says, oh, look, it's an insurrection. But remember, January 6th, where people literally broke into a federal building and tried to unalive the vice president and other politicians, that was just a day of love. But now Stephen Miller's just outright saying it. Well, Joe Biden, obviously, he was a tyrant, but Trump has absolute power. Because Stephen Miller knows that the only way they can avoid the horrible midterms that are in store for them is if they somehow claim that the entire United States loves Donald Trump, but also is Trump.
I don't know who phone that was just playing, and they just looking around. Anna, if that was your phone, mute yourself. Nah, that is some things is just not. You got to get it together, Anna.
I'm trying to figure out how did it ring when it's supposed to be on.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you just sitting up there like it's all cool though.
No, I'm trying to shut it off without hitting. I'm trying to shut it off without hitting ignore.
It's just sitting up
after the fact.
Yeah, right. She's sitting up there studying playing.
Like, I didn't mute. I did not mute. That's not true. No, but she said I muted. I didn't mute. We gonna get the facts straight. You know I'm a facts person. And that damn thing went off, and I'm trying to figure out how.
I'm just looking at you like she's not gonna mute herself or nothing. I gotta
Man, I was paused. I was trying to figure out.
Nah.
Look, I was trying to figure out how the hell do I stop it?
It's a terrible person today. But how y'all feel about that though?
Man, you know, he's focused.
Go ahead.
I just feel like at the end of the day, you know, why are we laughing at the moment it's created? What that man believes and what he said out of his mouth is something to pay attention to. You know, that's really how they believe that they have absolute power, and that's why they operate in the ways that they are. And on a real level, you know, like I said, not just on here, like I'm learning to pay more attention to media because I'm in school and my student loans might possibly have me picking some oranges near you. So I'm going to tell everybody what I'm learning for this expensive course of possibly being a plantation participant, that the media plays a big role in just how we understand really what's going on out here. And so like the fact that they took their time to edit a real moment and take that part of information where he used the words that they use in everyday meetings so that we have an understanding of what we're dealing with, that ain't no joking matter. But it is funny to see that man glitch out though in real life. So that's my perspective. Right.
To me, it was just it's like when you see it. Go ahead, Anna.
I'll say this. When I first saw it, I thought of Dick Gregory talking about the conspiracy that everybody has a double, or some of these people are made out of, you know, made in some some scientific lab. So for a minute, I thought the robot started glitching. That's the first thing I thought of. But when I went back and listened to the, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Oh, so when I started, huh?
Honor.
What y'all say?
Keep going.
I'm glitching out. Oh, well, because I keep hearing Yogi G saying something every time I say something. So then the second part was that I got from it when I went back and read and listened to the words he was using. Then I was like, oh, he done slipped up big times. But I just think about DC right now, Mickey. 30 days he had to September 10th, but the police are still being a part of ICE. Mm-hmm. And in 60 days, that's why Trump kept saying in November we're going to leave. So really, we could say, the mayor could say, well, September 10th was the last day they could be involved, but in reality, this sucker is functioning with that 60 days. And so I don't think Trump will get off of anyone's back, not in Chicago. I think he's in Memphis. He's in DC, probably for 60 days until which I know y'all saw Chicago put that executive order out. We could talk about that later. But that was my take on that when I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, but sometimes they do that. They speak behind closed doors business and come out and say it. And I think, and that's what's so wrong with the media, because CNN them didn't call him out on that. And it's like, to me, yeah, and you don't see a lot of people not saying nothing. That's what I'm thinking, like, why is they just like overlooking what he said? Good morning, Barb and Denise and JoJo and Tasha.
I know you saw. I know you saw the Pentagon with all those reporters leaving, because they were trying. Pete Heck, whatever the hell his name was trying to force them. Yeah, head dumb, head crazy. Was trying to make them sign something where they couldn't, certain stories. And they weren't even stories that were considered high, security, where certain things could come out. Anything. He wanted to pretty much regulate what they reported on. Ain't no one gonna sign no crap like that. That ain't how journalism works.
I mean, but this is where we at. H. Sprague and Lanita Murray, thank y'all for tapping in. But this is where we at right now. This is why I think they so mad with because remember at one time we only went to certain places to get our news from TV. We did have you always had different.
I don't know. I used to go to the corner. I used to the other day when I have a couple dollars on me, I do usually. And the other day, me and Yogi G were driving, and we got a final call. Now that's another place, like the everyday newspapers in the community. Like in DC, they got a newspaper for the oh God, what is the name of that newspaper? Street Sense.
Alicia Martinez.
I read that.
You read what?
Street Sense. Okay. It's a newspaper for the homeless to get money for the homeless people.
Oh no,
that's the point is that we had printed media, we had
back then.
Media, so it was many different ways for you to be able to get your news, and also the source is what you're talking to, Mickey, right? Like when we talk about why CNN didn't make a big stink about what he said and kind of just like it didn't happen, is because there's Big Six media. That means that there are media platforms like Disney, Fox, MSNBC who are funded by big money that is connected to big government. So we're never going to get the full truth. They do tell the truth from time to time because who gonna check them? So like, and plus they're narcissists. So when you have narcissists that are controlling the media, they got to tell you how they fucking you. Excuse me, I know it's early morning. Excuse me, but I be on it. So they can't help but tell you like what they're doing to you, because like that's the narcissism part, but also like still got to keep you in suspense while they undoing our Constitution and so forth and so on. So
because that's what I was gonna say. Because I remember my uncle used to tell me about the Chicago Defender. Like Lorna, thank you for tapping in, and Ken of y'all coming in late with Felicia and Lorna. Thank y'all all for tapping in this great morning. But like I'm saying, my uncle used to tell me that. But like you have places to get it, but they seem like you got for coming right here to get it unfiltered as you should. But see, you really got a monopoly on. Remember, the media supposed to be independent. Don't they say it's supposed to be the fourth estate? But how can it do that when you got billionaires buying it? Just look how they just purchased. What was that? The what is it? Wall Street Times? Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
The girl Barry Weiss. They didn't gave her $200 million to
What, Wall Street Journal or
Washington Journal? Yeah, because the girl, her name is Barry Weiss. That she taking over now. They was talking about how they got to have more friendly stories coming out. So I understand what Pete trying to do is because they don't want bad stories printed up. Just think about when Bill Maher got in trouble with what was that doing during the war when Junior was up in there, Bush Junior during the Iraq War. That you know, not when his daddy was in, but when he did the 9/11. When he went over there and they went to saying all the stuff was going on. See, just think about Vietnam. When it became a problem, when they started seeing the soldiers' caskets coming in. Remember, they don't want that being showed. That's when it really became a problem. See, when you start seeing all, you know what I'm saying? That's why they got to have stuff favorable to what they putting on. Oh, let me see. Hold up. I got to stop it for this right here. Felicia Martinez, she said, okay, this is my roll call. Shout out to Felicia Martinez. Mickey's roll call is sponsored by the great state of Florida, where I just touched down to spend time with the family attending FAMU homecoming. Shout out to the homecoming down there, FAMU. Let me see what Deborah said. She said the series on HBO Max, Succession, broke all that down. It was, you know what? I'm finna go because I got that. I'm gonna go check that out.
I'm gonna put it on my to watch it.
Good morning. I'm gonna go check that out. You know that? I'm gonna go check that out. I'm gonna go look at that Deborah Luna. Because when I be telling people, new one and tapped in, good morning, new one. What I really love, Darnell Dumas, the only Dumas that love 810 and the only Dumas Winter's Light. And that's a fact, Jack. And I'm gonna tell you something. I like to watch that movie Billions. And I can't think, but I'm gonna go back and watch Succession because I love movies like that. When you really go watch the thing because I love the History Channel. Go watch the History Channel. I think it's called How America Was Built.
The Man Who Built America.
The Man Who Built America. Man, y'all go watch that. Y'all gonna really see some businessmen. That's why you gotta understand that like business is warfare, and I don't think people be really understanding that in our community. You know what I'm saying? We so behind and so far back, and people don't be understanding. I remember my uncle used to always tell me this as a kid coming up. Eleanor Wicker, thank you for tapping in. My uncle used to say he was like if I let you play chess, but I got 200 years head start on you, and then you coming in to play, do you really think you got a fair chance?
Nope.
And I understand it better now. You know what I'm saying? Back then, you know what I'm saying? You talking to a young kid. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's like 13, 14, 15. My mind wasn't really on the stuff he was trying to say, even with my parents. You know what I'm saying? You be thinking, you know, but when you see it as you get older, you starting to see it. It's like, I understand, but you don't supposed to stop just because we running into these barriers. You know what I'm saying? We don't supposed to stop. Because that's what the ones before us, they kept pushing because we couldn't be doing what we doing now. Now, I ain't saying everything is fair and clean. But, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I can't see. I just don't get it. Like on some of the stuff we seeing out here, but it's like we going along with it.
Nick, look.
I mean, I don't think all of us are going along with it because I know you saw in the news Alvin Hosley. And Alvin Hosley, do you know who he is?
No.
Nope.
He's the admiral, the black admiral that stepped down because America is bombing Venezuelan boats. And for a black jet, before a black man, because you know we built on integrity because they always want to talk about we always doing stuff wrong. One thing, if y'all seeing in the military, black military people are retiring. Just like in the government, a lot of black women are retiring because of the integrity that this country is messing with us. And I know y'all seeing the Venezuela because what does Venezuela have? What does Venezuela have? Exactly. And so when you seeing these boats trying to say it's drugs, just like they trying to say the illegals are bringing drugs, we all know Ronald Reagan's administration was the biggest on bringing crack into the city. But that's another conversation. Sorry.
So I've been, once again, like just out of the studies that I've been embarking on, we have this in our library, Martin Luther King Library, they have a thing on our website called Canopy. It's an app, and it allows you to be able to look at old documentaries and things like that. So I'm working with this historian here in DC, and she kind of put me on this journey of this Eyes on the Prize. It was a documentary from 1968 for PBS, and it walks you through the movement, the civil rights movement. And I think that like if more people took time out to, just as much as we like to watch the present time movies, you gotta go back to the past and don't. It's really a gift and a key to what we're dealing with now, because they're not changing the playbook. Like I know it sounds catchy to hear, like same playbook, different player, but quite honestly, that's really what's going on. And so Eyes on the Prize is like a breakdown of all of the years leading up to maybe after the assassination of Martin Luther King, of the strategies and things that from both ends, from the civil rights perspective to the people who were fighting against the civil rights protesters and things like that. And I think I was telling Anna about how there was one point in this documentary that stuck with me, and I don't think I've heard enough about it, which was really important. Like when you talk about organizing and strategizing, how do you mobilize people? And it's about Albany, Georgia, and they call it the Great Defeat of Martin Luther King. Have y'all ever heard of that?
Hold that thought 1 second. Abundant Faith, thank you for the $5 super chat on $5 Friday. Okay, go ahead. I mean, Yogi, my bad.
Yeah, have you heard of that, Nick? Like the Great Defeat of Albany, like this was supposed to be like a low point in civil rights where they didn't, come out with a win. And if not, then I'll just move the story along for the sake of time, right?
No, go ahead and break it down. I need to hear it again.
It was so they had already did the Freedom Rider campaign was already starting, and they were like having very violent outcomes. So that's what was creating national attention. That's where media came into play, because they were watching people get like bludgeoned to death and like beat up and everything like that. So that was egregious. So that kept the White House involved in Southern law. And so that was the superpower of the movement. But when they got to Albany, this white sheriff had found the book that Martin Luther King had wrote, and he studied it. And he ended up figuring out the strategy, that it was that the fact that they, one, were being met with violence. So he made sure that nobody touched them. They just were very stern about shifting them around. It was about the movement and them overcrowding jails. So he got a land map, and he mapped out all the jails in a 9-mile radius from his town, and made sure he had a conversation with the sheriffs, and they would send people out this 9-mile radius so his jail never was full. So once again, you're not breaking the law technically in an inhumane way. You're still enforcing law. Then the final part was, and this is where I was like, white people, like we think they so dumb, but they so smart. They not always dumb. This white man, they finally did their last tactic, which was doing, if they had Martin Luther King in jail, then that would really draw attention. So that would be the beacon of like what would draw people into the town. And he didn't want to create that. So instead of him putting money on Martin Luther King's bail, he got a group of white men together, and they all put their money together and bailed Martin Luther King and his team out. And by then they were defeated. So they had to leave like hundreds of people who were in jail because they didn't have the money to bail them out in jail, Martin Luther King and them. So it created friction in the movement because people were mad about that. But I just thought it was really interesting how we think we'll be strategizing by doing things in public and writing books and stuff like that. And that ultimately is a way for us to communicate with each other, to talk about how do we defeat oppression in different ways. But just as well as we're studying, they're studying too. And sometimes this is just the ramification we'll be dealing with today of them having years to study us without us like collectively studying them. So Eye on the Prize, that's the name of the docuseries. And I think our website for DC MLK Library is available for you to be able to check it out. It's like 14 episodes. I'm on 6 out of 14. So
oh wow!
I don't even know what to tell you. I've been traumatized ever since I've been watching it.
You talking about this guy right here, right, Anna? What's his name? Let me play this right here. It's talking about top
Alvin Hosley. Yeah, Alvin Hosley.
Let me play it right quick. See, I got the right guy. So let me check this out. I'm going on the edge right here, family.
That's him.
Good, you can talk. So that was him right there, right?
That's him. That's him.
Okay.
That man, you know, they let go of so many great. Oh my God! The first day, Hedgehog. I'm calling him Hedgehog. Came on.
My good brother Marcus Fielder.
The first day Hedgehog got in that position. I don't even know the name of his position because he doesn't match the position, so I can't even remember it. But when he came on, he had fired that general, that 5-star.
Right.
I don't know if he's 5 or 4-star general. Correct me if I'm wrong. Look it up. But all I know is he fired that general, and I was pissed. Oh my God, I was pissed because my brother. So a little bit about me. My brother was Chief Master Sergeant, and he was a strict senior advisor for the whole Air Force. And my brother retired out of the Pentagon. And so I met a lot of these high valued men with integrity there in the military in my course of my brother allowing me to be in those spaces. And it's sometimes you don't get those access. But when you go into the Pentagon, it's not that many black faces or brown faces up on the wall when you're going through where the generals and also where CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, where they go into the briefing rooms before they go, when they go in there to do their live at the Pentagon. I got to see it in person. And, it's not easy to get in there. You got to have someone like, people with certain backgrounds to get you into the spots. But in my experience, the wall tells you the truth. The wall of pictures does not have us on that wall. So when you see this war that technically we're supposed to be not in war, you start to see the real ones saying, I'm getting away from this. And you start to see the real people that are really in position and the real brains behind what's going on. But when you challenge a man's integrity, a real man's integrity, he will move away from it. We were talking about Stephen Smith, right? Stephen, whatever his name is. He hasn't gotten to that breaking point of integrity where it's a little too much. Stephen, he hasn't gotten to that point. But every now and then, that money, you gonna say, I don't give a crap about that money. Because at the end of the day, my people are getting killed and my people are suffering.
I mean, if you look at it, because that's what I was over here looking for different videos over here, breaking it down. But Hegseth is his name. That's why I had to mute myself. But what I'm saying, because I'm looking at this, I understand why the brother resigned now. How is you saying they running covert operations over there in Venezuela right now? How you gonna tell a president if he don't step down, this is what you gonna do? That's like somebody coming over here and telling Trump, if you don't step down, this is what we gonna do. This is like what's going on. This is like getting downright diabolical. I'm gonna tell you what you can and can't do. I'm just saying, this stuff right here is I mean, we ain't gonna have no friends. I can tell you that. That's why.
And that is what the problem is. We have.
That's
sorry, Yogi. Go ahead.
It's not foreign. If you look at history, this is what they have done. This is what they do. It's just that we haven't seen it in this most egregious way in a while. That's the only difference. But it don't surprise me. I'm gaining peace in learning about the past. I told that to somebody yesterday because if I don't make sense of at least knowing the enemy, right? Then I'm thinking I'm crazy, and I know I'm not crazy. I've seen crazy up close. I got a couple of family members, but no,
that's why I was saying you can't believe what you see. even though you thought you saw something, it ain't what you seen. Like, man, I can't wait. I want to do this interview. I'm gonna end up doing it. I'm just waiting. I sent my number out to the guy, but I got some. Hey, facts, new one. Don't nobody want to hear about that. Confessions of an Economic Hitman. This is not new to America. Has always done this. The Jackal. Like they'll come in and tell we're gonna offer you this, and if you don't take it, you know what it is. And I'm with you, Deborah Loon. They said, do you really believe Tyler left City Hall over some videos? I doubt it. And you know what? There's more to it, and I do believe that. See, they even make death seem that they make death seem, and I remember the minister said that they make death seem fair play. You know what I'm saying? You see it like, people, he died from natural causes. Just think about it. Look at the dude. What was the reporter name? Gary Webb. Remember, he the one broke down when Freeway Rick Ross was getting out of jail. How to see? I think he broke the Iran-Contra story. How to see? I was bringing drugs in.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
In the head with the shotgun twice. See, like even when you go look at,
that's the same thing with the guy from Boeing. He whistled blow on Boeing, and then all of a sudden he dies.
Hey, that's the same thing people forget about Kenneth Lay. Remember Enron?
Yep.
Oh, he committed suicide. No, they probably sat down with Kenneth and said, look, man, we did what we did. You know, shit rolls downhill, not up. You got to fall on the sword. That's like even with the Bernie Madoff. They destroyed that man, brother. Hey, Omar, they listen. But that's what happened when you attack. Listen, that's what I'm saying. Like people we don't see it. What do y'all think happened in real time to the brother Eric Mays? Rest his soul. See, we won't look at that and be like how he got broke down, like the different things he was going through. Like we act like we don't see what people with money will do to you. What's up, Michael Cooley, the good brother from Greenwood, Mississippi?
Rich people got doctor friends too, Nick. Just as well as they got friends in media, they got friends that are doctors. You got, listen, these people, long game.
Prince and Michael.
Intentional.
Go ask Puffy.
Look up Prince and Michael.
Right. Then you go look at the companies, how they get, you know what I'm saying? Like they have and they be fighting these people for their royalties. What is it called? I'm not saying the right name to it. That they got to down there wait 25 years to get back. They masters. You know what I'm saying?
They die.
Yeah,
right.
You really have to go look at this stuff, but we don't look at it like that. That's why I like that movie, The Tulsa King, with Sylvester Stallone in it.
Oh, that's
then you see when he was beefing.
Yeah.
Remember when he was beefing and they over here trying to. The first series about getting in the weed industry. You had billionaire getting in it. But what he did when he went to the U.S. attorney, I helped you get in. You know what I'm saying? You better go after what's his name? Freddie Man something in the movie and this TV series. And it's like, damn, man, like this is really good. But we can't think like these people who got money are being these businesses. I think about it when Death Row was on top, when they was like Bob Dole, what was it, Dolores Tucker, and what's the other lady name? Whitney Houston cousin. Used to have a psychic channel and all that.
Oh, Dionne
Ward.
Oh, yeah.
They was all trying to get them to sit down because they wanted to get in the music business. You know what I'm saying? Just like with alcohol. But see, we don't find them like these rich people with some of the biggest drug dealers in the game, but we look at the peons on a small level. Yep. See, they be thinking, they make you think these is gangsters down here because you can terrorize a little neighborhood when they can terrorize countries.
The Panthers was out here feeding these kids, creating WIC and all of that, trying to help the community. And these top officials bringing drugs into the community. While one group is trying to fix the community and trying to protect them from the ignorance and the racists, then they come in and bring the drugs in. And then they want to sit there and say, oh, then look what the blacks did to DC. That wasn't no blacks. That was them bringing the drugs in.
This is why supporting your independent news media groups is important, because the narrative that's going across the nation and internationally is not in our favor, because they saw what the power of that does for a financial sense, right? Because in civil rights time, once again, the most closest thing we have outside of Black Lives Matter is that when they saw the brutality of America on their own people, then they disrupted trust over internationally. So now that they got that going on, they working on it again, and nobody's saying what they really capable of doing to their own people. So independent news media groups are going to be your best source of truth, but you also have to check the sources of the independent media groups, because it's not all with the integrity of journalism. So you got something up, Nick?
Yeah, I was putting every time we try. Okay, I want to say everybody, Raw and Uncut 2.0. Thank you for tapping in. Nelly Nell in the building. Thank you for tapping in. No, I was just putting this up with, I was saying what Deborah Luna had told me, so I had to find it. But you see, like this right here, just showing you. It says a former anchor, David Custer, takes on TV5 in Genesee County Court. But see, you will see stuff like this. It just shows what it says. Civil Rights Act, 3-count complaint all relates to the Elliot Larson Civil Rights Act, discrimination, harassment, and retaliation. The lawsuit names WNEM TV5, Great Television, WNEM TV5 General Manager Ken Firestone Jr. and News Director Jane Hodak Sobolewski from 2013 to 2024. I mean, but see, this is what happened. Like, when you work for people, and thank you to lovely Deborah Luna. And let me see, Sandra Nichols Martin, thank you for tapping in. But this is what happened when you're dealing with this. Look what happened to Ronnie Dow. You go out there and report real stories. See, these people feel like I pay you. I don't want you to talk about no feel good. I want you to talk about the feel good story. Just like last night, I was sitting over here. I go to my homeboy crib. I always check him out after the show. I go over my homeboy Boone crib. We go down here. I'm looking at all these new condos they got. They gotta move the people out. I see the undesirables downtown, and they not undesirable. They just people that's right now. They it's resource funds, lack of money. You know what I'm saying? So where you think they're gonna be at? They're gonna be at the gas stations. They're gonna be at. They really gotta move these people out. You really finna have to move, but they ain't saying no big thing like, well, let me help. Let me get these people a job. Let me help the homeless. Let me do this. Like this morning, I'm out when I'm on my way leaving the gym because I come through downtown. No, on my way, let me quit. On my way going to the gym, I'm seeing them putting the people got to come out the homeless shelters in the morning. Man, it was cold this morning. It ain't cold like it's gonna get, but it's like, do y'all? And then y'all got them walking around. They just roaming around. So where you think they're gonna be at? Then the shelter only can take so many. So we're the ones who can't get in on time. Where they at? They're gonna be roaming around downtown. But this was crazy. But you built these apartments up over here, and you think the people living in these nice apartments want to see this?
They don't hear, Mick. That's why our mayor scooped them up in bulldozers. So I don't know, man. If nobody is willing to, fight for what's happening in real time and what you can see with your own two eyes, man, we in trouble. Who's supposed to care? We can only do this so much. When we all sitting up here struggling, scratching and surviving, and you can only help like maybe 1 or 2 people at a time, and they make it harder and harder for us to be able to help each other to keep up, what I think what we've become comfortable with calling our lifestyle. That's the other part, right? Like we might have to make some real cuts to what we consider being comfortable living. And unless you're just going to fight your way out, because they don't even want you to have a decent shelter over your head. They just want you somewhere in a warehouse where you get up out of your bed, you go clock in, you clock out, you go back to that warehouse, and that's it. And how you know that they're capable of doing that, and that's how they want it, is because they've done it before. And you can't dispute video. You can't dispute you can dispute AI video, but these are like old documentaries. I'm talking about back in the day, black and white, like where they show you just not that long ago, they had people who barely had knapsacks that they would stuff on buses and send them up and down the road to make 80 cents a dollar and $1 an hour, and stick their children in little chicken coop and call it housing authority
Right.
And them children will be in there by themselves and give them a raggedy school while the parents were in the fields. Like, this is America. This is the America that we are looking at going back in time to, like, that being our day to day.
Facts.
So I don't know what else to tell people.
Irma with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you. Now, and everybody just tapping in. And Steph Love, good morning, tapping in from Birmingham, Alabama. That's where my granny was from. Birmingham, you heard? No, she's from Mobile. My bad. Mary Lou Jordan, my bad. Mobile, Alabama. No, I'm with you on that, but that's what. Just look how they did our warming center here. Cut it down from 100 to 45. So where you think the other 55 people finna be at? I'm telling you, I see them every morning. When I used to go live, I'd be sitting down in my cousin crib. We'd be sitting down there. You'll see when they, because he stayed downtown. You will see when they let the people out. They walk by his house every day. They be walking by. Man, it's cold. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this Michigan. We finna head to now. It's strange that it's been warm. It hasn't been, but thank God it's been warm because how they leaving these people out here in the streets. But they getting all this grant money running around here, supposed to be helping. Where's y'all doing the help for the people that's here and that's really finna be hurting?
Mickey, I think that's a nationwide agenda. People were complaining about people taking jobs and stuff, and we all know what that rhetoric was. And they locking these people up while they working. But then they're trying to make the agenda that the people that are homeless is because they're not working, so they don't have a right for shelter. They need to figure it out and go find work. And that is what the agenda is. Get the poor people and say you don't have an excuse for you being out here homeless. You need to go find a job because we're getting your jobs. We're getting rid of the people you say that got your jobs. Now, we already know that's all rhetoric. It's not truthful, but that is where the picture that they're painting, that there's jobs out here and there's no reason for you to be lying on media, on anywhere you go and say, I can't find a job. There's jobs out here because they're telling you they're picking people up at jobs. And so those jobs are hiring. And that's the reality. That's what you're going to start hearing from all these mayors. It's no longer, I'm poor, I can't find work. You can find work according to them. If you can talk, walk, and talk shit, you can work.
Hey,
that's the agenda.
I don't mean to shift it, but this goes hand in hand as far as like us and maintain the power to even make decisions like that about having the ability to where we're going to work and what we're going to do to maintain paying our fair and share. Have y'all heard about what's coming down the pipeline from the Supreme Courts about our voting rights?
Oh, the VRA. Yeah. We talked about that the other day. The VRA. That's a huge thing going on.
Talk to the people.
Pretty much they gonna zone people. Go ahead, Yogi G. I'm about to get off in like 5 more minutes.
Well, you started off, and then I'll come in with I know.
No, you go ahead. But I was just saying, go ahead. I'm just saying I might log off.
All right. I still want to get your perspective. So listen. So I just woke up to this news, so I'm still learning about it. So I don't want nobody chopping me up in the comments because I ain't using the right verbs or nothing like that. So y'all hold your fingers. So what I'm learning is that this is a big deal because it's ultimately them gutting out our voting rights, the Voting Rights Act, so that the amount of influence that we have as far as representation in Black community and when it comes to voting gets lessened compared to the Wahite vote. And the reason that that's problematic is because that was the whole reason that the Voting Act was drafted, is because we needed more representation and more power so that we'd be able to make decisions in a democratic way. And so we no longer contain that power, then we're ultimately looking at doing a fast track right back into 1960s, maybe 1930s, depending on how they feeling. So like I'm not in a panic, but I'm prioritizing looking more into that because it matters here in DC, because once again, we have what's called home rule, which is temporary power. And we're fighting for that right now. And especially with us coming up on our elections on the build out. But with us coming up on our elections, we are really in a soft spot of like really having dramatic shift in power because one, we're still fighting for them making sure we have home rule. Two, we don't know who's coming into our governance because DC is heavily transient and our laws are not strong enough to not encourage people who have only just moved in here maybe yesterday to run for some major titles and power. So like we're pretty much screwed if we don't really work hard to start vetting people, investigating people, and figuring out what place the power goes with what. And we have to re-educate our community because we got lackadaisical. Everybody wanted to just make somebody, give them, you know, all these titles, but not hold them accountable for what they're supposed to do. So, like, I guess why I'm bringing this up so that the community of 810 starts doing their research on how that affects you where you are, and start doing some work on educating people and seeing how you can galvanize that. Because, I mean, what you want to work on today will definitely affect you tomorrow and beyond. So, like, since you're here on this news media group, you might as well start becoming a part of the solution and don't maintain being a part of the problem, or neutral. And then you got to pay consequences either way. So that's my take on it, Mick.
Okay, Mr. Tom. Oh, I forgot. New one. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat.
Thank you.
Mr. Thomas said the VRA is gone. They have been gutting it for years. Then he came back a second time, said panic. So it's rough. And Ron Uncut, I wasn't blowing over your question. No, you is right. I have been seeing them by Boom Crib that, you know, more is moving back in town. I'm not, you know, I done seen couple like walking their dogs and stuff. I told you, I've been tripping when I be on the north side in certain parts. I'm not gonna say all the way deep north, but far as in that 5th Ward, 6th Ward, I have been seeing more, you know what I'm saying, more white people living in there, walking their dogs and everything. And I'm like, but I'm tripping, like, do they understand this water is still bad? Like,
yeah,
you know
they do.
Like,
but do they got new pipes?
Listen, man, I'll be over my homeboy crib, man. Boom. All I gotta tell you, and he'll tell you, I don't know nobody over there who drinking from the faucet unless they done lost their mind. Everybody I know, bottled water.
Yeah. But if they got them new pipes and they got the filters, they're better off than someone who hasn't gotten their pipes changed.
But still having listen, I don't care what having a filter on. I wouldn't drink the water. I'm just telling you.
I know what you're saying.
That was a question for us, Mick.
Let me put it back up.
They were supposed to be moving the unhoused out of DC. Have you noticed a difference, and where did they put them? I feel like on them, you got some perspective on that?
I'll say something real quick because I'm about to run into this building. My phone went down. The heat that's outside shut my phone down. But anyway, what I would say is they ain't put them nowhere, Yogi G. They still walking around. They just found another spot to hide. That's the truth.
Yeah,
I see the homeless walking. Now they got to keep walking.
Yeah.
You'll see their bags stashed up in certain areas around the city. They're still walking. Plus, people don't understand mental health is real. Some of these people been homeless not because they don't have no money, not because they don't get a disability check. A lot of them are veterans in D.C. mad at their country because their country let them down. Wow. And so they still live with the mindset. I used to work with DHS, right? And so there's a part in DHS called Veteran Assistance for Supportive Housing, which is VASH. And VASH works with the homeless. These guys that are out here, they are connected to VASH. But the reality is they go to the hospital, they go to I forgot the name of the hospital. Give me the name, Yogi G. The Veterans Hospital. Veterans Hospital. Yeah, they go to the Veterans Hospital, but they still live on the street, Mickey.
The VA.
The VA, that's where they go. They still out here in the street. And the reason why they still out here in the street is because their mindset doesn't want them to listen to what the government is telling them on how to live. And so they rather live in the street where no one's controlling them, telling them when to pay, what to pay, and how to pay. I'm going to do what I want to do, eat what I want to eat, and live off of God's natural earth. Now, all of us ain't going to live like that. I'm just saying.
Deborah Luna, thank you for the $5 super chat, beloved. Thank you.
I'm going to put my camera off and start walking into this school.
Okay.
I don't know. Mick started looking around. I didn't know if he was in the studio.
No, I was looking at that was the damn bugs because we got a lot of those.
I knew he was under attack last night. And you saw
I see one. Like, I'm thinking I just saw one fly. I said, "Hot damn it!" Because when I first came in, it was like 3 on the outside wall.
Because they heard you murdered their mans last night. That's why.
But then they ended up in here. When I saw, I'm like,
you ain't got to worry about Liddell and them no more.
Because I got the light right here. They be attracted to this light. And they always seem like they're flying to the light and just fall on the ground and get back up and jump on the wall. That's
Ladies
what I'm
and
like,
gentlemen,
oh, shit,
if
here we go.
If you see Otis disappear off the screen, it's because the Bug gang that came and got him.
I'm looking at what facts. I'm looking at what Step Love said. She said, we are only 1 or 2 generations away from Jim Crow. My great-grandparents fought for my rights to vote, and I instilled importance in my children and others who say their vote doesn't count. Keep voting. And I agree with you. Only thing I hate about it that we be making things like we got to take the lesser of 2 evils. In Flint, it seems like we just get evil. You know what I'm saying? It's like you might get you 4, you might get you 4. And don't get me wrong, people might see, you know, what we be saying stuff. Look, I got nothing but respect for Tanya. I got nothing but respect for Dennis Pfeiffer. I got respect for Jonathan Jett. I got respect for JWC. I have respect for those who doing the right thing. I'm not saying that they not fighting, but it's like, what more can you do? It's like the fight. But my thing is, if they would have handled this back in 2022, see, you have to see people. Oh, you can't forget. No, you got to remember the past. Because the past gonna tell you what you headed to. My thing was, if they would have got with that clerk office, handle that under Inez Brown, we wouldn't be having these problems now. That's why I say coming into 2026, I can't see where you can say in Flint you're gonna have a fair election. You know, I can't believe it. I can't believe it when you can see. I'm just saying blatant stuff. When you can see stuff like this, seeing the same handwriting on all these different the same signature on these absentee ballot stuff, allegedly. I'm just saying, all this stuff you going on, you see a person who you know don't stay at this house. And you know the house is, the city got it. It's just so much stuff that you were seeing. What's up, Rodney Thomas? Thank you for tapping in. When you see all this stuff going on, it's like, if you would have dealt with this, and like I say, hindsight is 20/20. Even with Dennis, I messed with him that he voted for Candace, but you know what I'm saying? Did he think she was gonna do this way? I know now he like, damn. But my thing is, but once these people get in these seats, it's over. That's even with LaShawn. We can say what we want. At the end of the day, we know who buttering her bread. I'm on this side. Much as people can say, it's easy to lead a person wrong and harder to lead a person in the right direction. Because I done done more right. Done wrong. You know what I'm saying? I try to balance it out now. You know, you live long enough, you get to do all the things you did wrong, you can do right.
For sure.
And it's just like when you see these people up in there, how you gonna tell? How can you really convince LaShawn to come over here on this side when she looking at, I got my house did. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here. I'm getting to get money. How can I convince you to tell you, hey, come over here with us because we're going to help the people? Just seriously, when you didn't have to do nothing. Who put right, Mr. Thomas, you can do that with 6% voter turnout. So why you think they want to keep the people not voting? For that reason right there. Okay, I was just saying. Why you think they got that, they doing that? They don't want the people to get out here and vote. Not in the black community. They don't want that to go down. They already know, but I'm just saying, look how easy it is. You can buy a person off now. But if you would have dealt with, I'm saying, even bought the clerk office off, ain't no way in the world, and I say it again, when Davina let 21 get away with what he was doing, and his was easy to call out. When she let that slide, what made people think, you know what I'm saying, she was going to be on business about the other ones? We get up here, where's her job? Well, she don't want to lose her job. Where's the threat of her losing her job at? Well, Davina just signaled for any other mayor coming in, I will play ball with you. If you got you 5 or 6 votes, I will play. Really, if you got you 5, I will play ball with you. I will let you do what you need to get your people in. I'm not going to say nothing because that's what the clerk office is saying anyway. From Inez Brown to now, we will play ball with you. So how you expect a fair And how you expect the fair election coming up? And hey, Omar, facts. It said, you know it's bad when you have a written charter and it's violated daily. Flint got it back. And then when you have a member that was on an ENA board say the charter don't matter. Publicly said it. Not just see some of this stuff. Now, can y'all imagine what they saying when we off camera? If they can blatantly say some of this stuff, do you understand the stuff they say behind camera? And I'll give you an example. Dougie Doug came to the ENA board members' house. Some put letters in their mailbox that you know did not one have an attitude with him. But when Jedediah Brown stepped in the city, and he went to the mayor's house and did a peaceful protest, did it legally, you know what they said? Oh, I would have did this to him. I would have did this to him. I would have knocked him down. Like, damn. You talking about you it was easily to say how you can kill somebody that look like you with no problem. But when Doug came to your house, you didn't even have that same type of attitude. And y'all want me to think and I'm just saying, and these the people, and this same individual on the school board, and look how shitty the school board being ran. But like I say, this bootlegged Boule clan that's in Flint, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about they like the Timu of Boule, but they still. Hey, Omar, facts. And said, hey, Mickey, and was made up an ambassador downright diabolical. They don't care. But see, in their mind, these people feel like, well, we doing good. So if the other ones suffer, we don't care. These is your Timu, Boule. They don't care. Hey, I wish they could. I go vote. I get on here and tell people to go vote. You know, and I voted for Kamala.
Because voting is important. It's whether however you feel about it and the outcome, you still have. I mean, it is the lesser of two evils ultimately, right? But what we're seeing is by people believing that there was absolute no value or power in voting. That's how we got expedited back in the apocalypse time. So you still got to keep up the fight in some kind of way. And if you ain't one of them real life, like 10 toes down, stand up against the police, get knocked upside your head kind of fighters, the least you can do is go pull a goddamn lever or push a button. I mean, dang.
But you have to call, and my thing with Tanya and them, I'm just going to be honest, from Tanya Burns, JWC, to Dennis Pfeiffer, and Jonathan Deere. Y'all have to call Davina out on her BS. See, I can't get up there and play, even the city attorneys. Like, I disagree with Tanya at that press conference when that the one reporter pushed and said, how about, I can't say, you know, she didn't, and I feel it because she a politician. She didn't want to throw the city attorney up under the bus. I would have threw the city attorney up under the bus.
Like a
see, I don't care about having on me, but I understand. But see, me, like I say, we just podcasters. You know, I'm not a politician. So I can't, I would drive the bus over you. I would drive it through you. I would land the plane on top of you. You think I would care about throwing the city attorney up under the bus the way they done played them every time? You think I'll be over here when Davina pulled that stunt, when Miss Biggs won that seat rightfully, when Leon voted her in? Bullshit. Like, it wouldn't be no plan. See, and that's what I think, like, you know, you can be nice, but you can't be nice because this ain't a nice time to be being nice. It's a peaceful time. Right now, we at full-fledged wartime in politics on trying to get to help the residents who need help. You know what I'm saying? You can't be playing, no, I'm going to throw you up under the bus. No, you're not shit. I'm looking at Mark Hutchinson said, and Flint, it looks to me like prominent people say they won't change, but their actions clearly prove otherwise. And the Pentecostal Black Church, Kojic, has outsized influence, i.e., facts. But that's what I'm saying. And it's like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and it's to me, it's like, no, you have to call them out. I don't believe in, and don't get me wrong, I'm just saying this. I don't care. But I'm saying, like, the brother Art, good at what he do. Only thing I have a disagreement with him at when he be like, let's give this person a chance. I'm not giving you a chance when you done already showed me. I'm giving you the proof is in the pudding. If she got her house done, allegedly, got her windows in her side and done, what's the purpose of me coming over there to you? on that side. Like, you know, what's the purpose of me coming over there when I know this man got me up in here? Let's be honest, LaShawn, I don't know. Let me. I'm just saying allegedly. Who you think put the money up for her to run? She lost and came in as a write-in. Show me who on the other side that y'all can give her something. She already showing you that if you want a willing deal, you got to give me something. If y'all can't give her what this mayor can get these people, meaning money. What's up, Pop Gaddis? Thank you for tapping in. If you can't offer her nothing, why would I come over here with y'all when I couldn't even beat y'all because the people weren't gonna vote for me, and I had to come in as a write-in? Do you understand the stuff they had to do to get her in? So you mean I'm gonna come over here on this side and help, and you know what I'm saying, and mess myself up? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying, like, and don't give me, and not like I say, this not a knock. It's just that we have to be honest with ourselves. These people got up here for money. If you are not finna get them no money where you can keep them getting money, why would I come over there? Even if I'm only in here for a year, because she got to next year, November. If I'm in here for 1 year and this man can get me $1 million, what side you think I'm gonna roll with? I'm gonna get over here. I can play that game, make $1 million. LaShawn, wink, I'm telling you how to get your money. I can get over here, get $1 million. Or I can go roll with y'all. And you know what I'm saying? We can make it rough, but I don't get no money. Now, if y'all can guarantee I switch sides, I can get over here and we're gonna get some money. Let's sit down and let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm knowing I'm finna lose all my voting over here. You know, ain't nobody gonna vote for me. You know, because they didn't vote for me then. I'm just saying, like, what is you offering? You saying, well, we gonna help the residents? Really? I'm just saying, I mean, in my humble opinion, like, and that's my reason, like, what only God can change that woman's mind to want to do right. And then right now, the church ain't looking right because the church done sold out. So how you gonna go tell her don't sell out and you see preachers selling out?
So Mick, I'm just curious, right? Like, is there any way out of the diabolical era in Flint? How do you get there? How do like I said, I'm outside looking in, right? Like, how do people get there?
You're gonna have to get the right people, man. You can't keep getting people that you know are not electable. Let's be honest. A lot, you know, some of them people were not electable. And then, but see, to me, you got to get that clerk office. Until you get that clerk office together, you're not gonna win. Just look at it.
And that's the Davina's office.
Right. Look, these 6 recall papers that got lost, that Davina lost, the clerk office lost. There did nothing happen. And even if them 6 would have counted, she still wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying, wouldn't have been enough to get her recall. How do 6 papers come up missing? And the county had to tell them, like Dominique was on here. The county clerk was, hey, if it was in my office and it happened, somebody would have been fired. You know what Davina and them said? Nothing. Like, we don't care. It's not your office.
And didn't they shoot this up already, like over her head? They tried to get the upper room to make some judgment on this, and they pickleballed it back.
Right back to her.
Here in DC.
Well, the mayor probably like, I'm finna go get me a steak today. Go get me some liquor. What's up, Allie Nicole Gaddis Rivers? I'm just saying, some of that stuff you have to look at, like, until you get that clerk office together, you ain't look, neither gonna keep getting his people in. Until you can get that clerk office together. Davina right now, knowing she can change the situation, knowing right now she can go in and say, listen, you know, we gotta take this person out of his seat. We gotta deal with the first and the second ward, because the second ward, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, even throw 21 up in there, but you think Davina gonna play herself when she know her ass can be in trouble too, that she let 21 get in? Knew it, let him get in. And you playing that, she ain't gonna play herself like that. What's up, Erica Gaddis? Thank you for tapping in. So I'm just trying to figure out like what they gonna, you know what I'm saying, like what they gonna do. Like what they gonna do. Let's just say Tanya and them get they Tanya and them win the election. You know what I'm saying? She win it. You know, they had 5 or 6 votes, and it's a new mayor. Oh, say, you know, we got new council and say Liddell ain't back, Leon ain't back. It's some new people on it, but it's a new mayor. You still gonna trust the clerk office? You still gonna trust Davina? You still gonna trust the people behind them? For years they've been the clerk office. I couldn't trust nobody up in there for years. Y'all been letting residents, and I'm not saying the people that's up on, I'm gonna say the whole clerk office. I hate to see y'all lose y'all jobs over there, Salt and Pepper. I don't want to see y'all lose no jobs, but I'm just saying, them 2 in front of y'all, that Gloria and Davina, they don't need to be in the clerk office. To me, it's tainted. I don't know who you can really trust. I'm not saying it might have rubbed off on y'all, but I'm just going by history. It seemed like the stuff Inez Brown was doing, it rubbed off on Davina.
So Mick, can I ask the question?
Come
like,
on with
what's the vibes in Flint? Like, are there like town halls happening? Are there like people in the street talking? Like,
people in the street talking, but you know,
I mean, but not like action.
Nah, I mean, you know what I think when they saw the people getting snatched out their cars, I think it really
took them back. It took them back.
It really took a lot of people not like fuck this protest and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some people like, nah, it couldn't been me. You know what I'm saying? And that's the take I got from it. Like some people like, you know, nah, that's what they gonna do, sick the police on us. And you got some like,
I'm sorry to interrupt. But I'm really like, you know, like I said, I can't help but to ask these questions because like organizing is what we do to like disrupt power and bring attention to the community. So like,
right.
I'm wondering if like, even if that is true, right? Because I get it, to have to think about you sacrificing your body for the sake of like a few people that feel away and not enough people backing your safety or even your security, because people real live with the jail, right? You know, behind a lot of these actions and stuff. And so like, for me, and it probably is not best, even if there was something that was happening on behind the scenes of people that just kind of galvanized to talk about who are those people that's going to be trusted to replace the people that's in power now. Like, I just wondered if there was conversations that were helpful. I know y'all had Miss Beverly Biggs, who worked really hard to fight for the third ward, right? Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, really, she fought for Flint, but you know, the third ward was where she could get elected at. You
right.
Understand? She was remember she did the recalls for the 9th ward. She did recalls for the 2nd ward, and I think she do something. Well, she made change. Now she got the 9th ward changed out. It's just that 2nd ward where she was having it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping that while it might have shook some people back into like figuring out what's the best way of advocacy for Flint outside of sacrificing your body, that it still kept people encouraged to have these conversations, even if it's just in your living room, about who's going to be next up. Because once again, for us in DC, where we have a lot of people but less power, conversation and education is the only tools that we've had really to kind of make those shifts and maintain at least some decency in our politicking and politricking. So I just wanted to know if those vibes or those movements were similar in Flint, because you know y'all got a lot, just as much on the line. I won't say a lot more, but y'all got just as much as we do on the line. So I'm hoping that people are still keeping encouraged with figuring out who those people are or could potentially be.
You know what? So many people, it's like this. I'm just going to give my humble opinion what it is. You got past administration, what they probably lining their people up, and you got this current administration lining up. Then you got the people outside of that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's why you seen like, and I see what you're saying, Mark Hutchinson. But just think about it how it did. I think if Jed would have been, it would have been more people open to it. It would have been more successful. You know why? You know why, Mark? You ain't saying because can't nobody else galvanize the people to get them like Jed did. Even though it might have been 20-some people, can't nobody else galvanize and get nobody to come push their agenda through. Let's be honest. If we're gonna talk it, let's talk it. Ain't nobody, because they seen how it was. The reason Flint is being ran high is, I believe, it's two folds on what's going on. And y'all might think I'm crazy, but I just go back and look at, I don't care about getting in trouble. It's the truth. See, let me see what it say. Mark Hutchinson said, Brother Mickey, we got to tell the whole story about Third Ward and Bev. Bev served up the whole council on a silver plate, and she got backstabbed by the boule. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. The Timu boule on top of that. I'm not saying these Timu can't get you knocked off. I'm just telling you they ain't the top gun. These are Timu boule. These suckers will get together and will work you. Go back, look at Maurice Davis. See, people don't want to look at the truth of what it is. If this mean I got to fall out with people from that 2022 election, I can stand on it. If you go look at how Maurice Davis got did, but Maurice Davis wasn't the only one that got played in that process. You got to look at Sis Audrey too. So let's be real. It wasn't just, it was two people, but we only focused on one. It was the Maurice. Because she didn't have the support that they should have put behind her, and she could have probably got over the line. I'm telling y'all, go back and look at that, and then you can understand what Miss Biggs went through. Until you go back and look at how they did Maurice Davis, because can't nobody tell me now that Maurice wasn't better for that community than Liddell is. You can't tell me that. But see, people have, they had that selective memory, Yogi. They had selective memory. That's why when it got played again and happened to Miss Biggs, people didn't, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't see it. You couldn't see it.
I was just gonna say, I just want to double down on that Timu Boule comment, because let me tell you, I don't like our Boule here, and Lord knows they be turning us topsy-turvy, but when it comes to presentation, they can't hold the Flint Boule. If that's the representation that was sitting on that council of y'all Boule compared to our Boule, boy, they were running circles. Our Boule running circles, and they can't hold the fire to it. That wig alone was a no-no on the Boule representation list. But I digress. I don't want to make it about the wig, but I couldn't resist.
I'm just telling you, but this is the game, man. And it's like ain't nobody sitting up there and said, I just like Candace. Candace don't appeal to the South Side she grew up on, the black side. She appealed to the side, the more well-to-do off side where the money at. She ain't over there where the black side at. That ain't no lie. That's a fact. Candace don't sit up there. Candace probably be around so many Negroes, she probably have a nervous breakdown. That ain't no lie. That's a fact. Whether people want to admit it or not, like, I'm not scared to sit up there and say it. Like, they know what they doing. All I do, you know what I do when I sit back now, and I shouldn't be saying this, and don't get me wrong. Look, and listen, I'm cool, you know what I'm saying? But when I be seeing certain ones, the white people around here who get, you know what I'm saying, who movers and shakers, when I be seeing the blacks at their birthday parties, I just be on Facebook looking, I be like, okay, I see why this person think like that. I see why this person be doing like this, or why how they be. And it's no knock. But this has been going on for the longest. And not all of them have the we sick boss mentality, but majority of them do. Because all you got to see, how much money is going north of the Flint River? How much money going north of the Flint River? You can't tell me that. You can't convince me. And when Mr. Peachy come up there and he looking at the east side, that Judy doing great works over there, we can ride back through the east side again and look like they're in there Tel Aviv in some areas. Not Tel Aviv. Where it's been bombed at. You know what I'm saying? I'm being honest with you. You go look at some of these schools, like the dilapidated buildings, houses half burnt down but still up. Hey, Mark Hutchinson, and you know what I'm saying. People look at that second ward primary in 2021. Yeah, I kept saying 22. 21, they will be shocked at who played the Neely vote splitter that led to the deal. It makes me question everything. That's what I'm saying. But see, we have to be honest until you can get that fixed up, because people don't, it be a lot of, look, man, people be mad with each other behind the scenes. They just be smiling out on here with you and then be working behind the scenes and leave your ass out there. And that's why people couldn't see the same characters that was playing the part in the Beverly Biggs thing. All you gotta do is go back and watch how it was. And regardless, we can say what we want. AC, he made it to the next round. But when you knowing this mayor was sitting up here, knowing this mayor was finna run that woman as a write-in, I would have suspended my campaign. See, them, you know what I'm saying? Them things you got to understand. And I remember I was one of them. I was getting told, a write-in and never win because the write-in had money behind them. A write-in ain't never won who ain't had no money behind them. See, that's what they not telling. And that's what I'm saying again. Why would she change and come over there to the other side when she knowing who buttering her bread? She won as a write-in. You think I'm gonna come over here with y'all when y'all can't even get y'all people in? But this man he's showing you he can get you in. And ain't this thing about making money too? Let me see. It says, let me see what they said. Yeah.
There's a lot of head nods. You hitting the mark.
Nah. I'm just saying, like, how do you expect to win? Like you really gotta you gotta hope, man. It's like you pray shit. We praying on we praying that the next person get in. This man showed you that he can take your people anytime he want. Anytime he want.
What's up with the chat? It's $5 Friday. Good people, Otis, we don't hear preaching to y'all spirits and our ears.
And I feel him this morning. I'm just saying though, when you look at it, but what you supposed to do? That's what I'm saying. Cause I'll be out there, I'll be listening. Like I said, I'll be at the barber shops, I'll be at the little stores where the thinkers be at. And when they sitting down saying it, I'm like, but you got to deal with the clerk office. That's what everybody I talk to. What's up, Sheila? Thank you for tapping in. They said they was like Davina, but we never look at Davina. We not putting the pressure on Davina. I'm not saying, I am saying get rid of her, but if she in there, make her do her job.
But what does that look like, Nick? Maybe people can't figure out what that look like to put pressure on Davina.
I had to sue her ass. I mean, because she ain't doing nothing. Like I've been hearing in the streets, Davina say, well, just let 2026 handle it.
So people can sue her directly?
From what I'm hearing, you can. For not doing her job. But
so
this man knows.
If enough people start suing Davina, and then maybe that might put some pressure on her to be able to do her job. Is this what we're saying?
That's what I'm hoping, but you can't take it in the courts here. You need to take it up top. Go federal with it.
Oh, to the federal court.
Because like you said earlier, you don't know who these, even going there, you don't know who these people know.
Yeah.
You don't know who these people know. Just go look. The one girl, Allie Hogan wrote her. She perjured herself in court, but shit, she got a $100,000 job. You go perjure yourself in court and see what happened.
So I'm just like, what's what the people supposed to do?
Keep fighting. You got to keep fighting. Can you imagine how much can happen from here? From now to November 2026.
I'm scared. I ain't even.
I'm just saying. You may be right on that, Sheila. She said, unfortunately, y'all local courts are rigged. When you seeing stuff that's going on, like I said, they let the councilman. He got to put. What's up? Good morning, the lovely Sherry Allen. He got to put PPOs on people when you got people who couldn't get PPOs on people. If that ain't blatant and showing you the court system, what's going on?
Damn.
What you supposed to do? I mean, like we in a catch-22. Either you gonna fight for it, or you gonna have to keep fighting. But shit, we done seen a lot of people die fighting.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, this is just the charge that goes along with what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. It's not going to be easy, and you just speaking out and saying what should and could be don't make it so. So like to your point, right? Like what I heard was there's an avenue to be able to continue to put pressure on Davina, which is in a financial sense, because I would imagine that if you taking her to court, you gotta show up and somebody got to fit the bill. So maybe the strategy is, right, if I may offer outside looking in, is for if people have the ability to appeal to people that have money, start building out some legal funding so that people can be supported to put actions against Davina, to create that pressure of her being able to do her job. Maybe that's the avenue, right? It's not always protesting. That's what when we're teaching out, organizing workshops and cohorts and things like that, we teach people that it's not always about marching. It's not always about direct action and just speaking up and disrupting. You do actually have to strategize how to, find different pockets of stress for people who are ultimately standing up and doing wrong or like doing blind deals. So I guess if that's something to take out into the ether in the 810 chat, where it's always at is
But what you got to do, Yogi, you better not bring them people in that get your business out there. I'm telling you, I seen so much the Weaver campaign during that time I was there, probably why we didn't win. It was so much leaked stuff. Then you hear, well, you probably weren't watching, but Winters was saying it when we was talking last night on the Nightly Nip, and I think it might be a Nightly Nip, family. Winters, I meant to say that. I think it might be a Nightly Nip tonight because Winters, she got some information, but I don't know if she got it all. She said if she get everything she need, she'll be on. But she a sports mom, and she been, so that's what when I was looking down while you was talking, I was texting. She told me to put it out there. It might be a nip because she got some tea, but she don't know if it's all the way right. She's still waiting. She said she had 60%. So I'll come back live probably around about 1 PM and let y'all know if we on tonight. But you gonna only get it on YouTube. Pastor Nicholas J. Gaddis, I don't know when the best time to start letting people know they starting the campaign. I know this, they better be checking the people and what you saying, get a fund. But the problem is y'all better watch who y'all letting into these camps when y'all doing something. You better watch who you letting out, because I'm telling you, Dr. Weaver, it hurt so much of their business. I'm talking about far as when she was where she was finna be walking at and all this and that. What Trevor was on yesterday morning, or was it the day before, when he was like, yeah, every time we'll be meeting here. Winters even vouched to say, yeah, when we was here, his team would be there too. So it's like, you have to be careful who y'all sharing information with. Flint only so big. Everybody knows somebody to know somebody. Believe that. So you better be careful on who you for sure. It's gonna be Mickey's chest. That's what I'm gonna let y'all know. It'll be on that. Get it off Mickey's chest. I'll probably be going live at 1 o'clock to let y'all know, or 2 o'clock to let y'all know if she coming on. Hey, Pastor said, what you think, Yogi, in DC?
About the best time, man. Listen, every day is you running a campaign. Like, you're not gonna show up months before the campaign, especially if it's something a high title that you're looking to get, and then be like, trust in me. No, that's not how that works. Like, you gotta have a vetted history in community and in action to really get people to understand where you go. I mean, of course, I'm not gonna say like we're perfect in that way. That's just my personal strategy of like seeing who I'm going to support. But in the District of Columbia, every day is a campaign. Literally, when you shake somebody's hand and they ask you what you do, is a campaign. So like, I mean, it's just a difference. But to Mickey's point, I think like I've heard Brother Elliot for Black Watch and conspiracy theory, y'all are consistent with just driving home that you gotta check the camp and make sure that you all are aligned on what you decide is like morally right. You know what I mean? Like, if you can agree to disagree on certain things that make people have a peaceful existence or not, because everybody campaigns to get together, that's number one. But like, when you're talking about representation and like campaigning and stuff like that, integrity, that's a big word. Like, you gotta move with integrity, and if you can't nobody challenge you, you'll only be trying to deflect from things that are not true. And I'd rather spend my time trying to debunk real live lies than trying to cover up shit I know that I've done. Like, how can you run like that? Because somebody always gonna have something over your head. So if you starting off in the jump, whether you got great intention or not, and you coming into the space saying that you want to be somebody's leader or in leadership, you gotta check your skeletons in the closet and have some real conversation about whether or not you're comfortable with that being exposed and exploited. And then once you be the person that exposed that, then you can move with some real integrity and get it done. Don't come out in here talking about somebody want to be your leader and you got a whole sweatshop in your basement. Like, that's not smart, and that's not helpful to the cause or to the people when you know that you're wrong in the first place. If you're not ready to start living as close to whatever version of Jesus people are familiar with or comfortable with, or whatever, keeps you morally sound. If you're not ready to walk it like they talk it, then I suggest you sit this one out. And if people not giving you that, when they're saying that they want to be your leaders and you're seeing clear red flag signs that these people are capable of swindling and scandaling, especially if they got big swindlers and scandalers and then yeah. I mean, it's not that hard.
You speaking truth to power, you ain't lying. Because when you see these swindlers, and that's what I be saying, it's like, that's why you know what I'm waiting on, Yogi? Who I ain't seen in Flint in about 20 years, because that's what they gonna do. They gonna bring motherfuckers here you ain't never seen. That's gonna pop up. You gonna be like, damn, where you come from? Oh, I graduated from here back in '97. See, in this list, you already know this finna go on. You finna see this. It's finna be, I'm waiting to see a person who decided to come back home. Been gone for damn 30 years, ready to come back home and bathe in poison water. That's what I'm finna look at. But I'm telling you, but you do have to watch. I'm dead serious. And brother Pastor Nicholas J. Gaddis, I don't think they're gonna fix the residency fraud. That's why I said I'm waiting on some new people to come in who ain't been living here, who got their parent crib, but coming back, nearly gonna put them in. I'm just looking at the black literature, the dark literature, who finna come in and do what they doing. And you're right, Mark. We laugh at Neely, call him names, but that man focused on staying mayor and getting that money and getting to the bag. He know what he doing. That's what I'm saying. When you go look, just go back. I'm just saying, y'all go back and watch that. You was right, that 21 election. And go see, and then you're going to be able to see some of the strength. You're going to see some of the same patterns on how Miss Biggs got jammed up in the same thing. You're going to see the same patterns.
What's that old saying? Him who laughed last, laughed the hardest, or something like that, right? And to Mark Hutchinson's point, I think about it like they laughed at Reagan because he was an actor and he wanted to be president, and then he became president, so they laughed that off, right? Yeah. Then we got Jesse Ventura. Then we got, and then we got Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they still was yuck, yuck, yuck. They would never make it right. Yeah. And then they laughed at Donald Trump the first time, and they were still yucking. And I don't understand how people still yucking because it ain't shit funny happening here. Like my son talked about, I was telling Mickey and Anna before we started how my son had went on a day trip to New York. And he was just talking about the difference between DC and New York. And we know it's not that far from each other. Mm-hmm. But here we are, we literally showing our paperwork here. We got National Guards that you can visibly see. We got checkpoints happening. And this shit looking like little Korea in this joint. Without the tanks and stuff so far. We had those maybe like a couple of months ago. They ain't bring them back yet. But, it's just how are people still not seeing that these things are visibly going on and still able to be like, yuck. It's funny to see. It's not. This is not a joke. This is real.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, even the same thing. We do this, but just look at it. You see the same pattern on how Miss Biggs. I'm just saying, are you going to be able to win this way? Like, do y'all really think in 2026 we're going to be able to afford to play the same game again? You even had, like I said, LaShawn allegedly was out there helping Miss Biggs get recall signatures for Liddell. See how she did a 360? She flip-flopped. She motherfucking flipped. You see how she flip-flopped? I'm not a Neely girl. She's showing you she's a Neely girl. I'm just saying, but this is the stuff, and I think people like, to me, it's like we sitting up here playing. No, you have to play hardball with them now. You
Nick,
got to go ahead, go at that clerk office.
Listen, I like to say I don't think one is better than the other, but I don't know. Then trauma sharing is now my superpower. So since y'all think y'all mayor is diabolical, ours is diabolical, and like to come on the forefront to just show you that how she like to say it with her chest. I can't wait till Sunday when we get on here. We can show you the video of how she got confronted. She was on one of her campaigns of, "Hey, I'm not really that bad." So she came over on our side of town, which would be Ward 5, and she felt safe in the arms of her community. And them people got up there, they gave the mic out, and they started accusing her of having MPD work with ICE and everything like that. And the ignorance that showed up in her spirit, it was like unbelievable. And you supposed to be somebody with some coof and demure and decor. Like, this is crazy. Not crazy to think, because we know it's possible because it's happened before. But quite honestly, I'm just saying, if it makes you feel any better, since we don't know what to do in this moment, just find comfort in knowing that y'all not the only ones dealing with diabolical behaviors in politics. It's happening in the nation's capital too. So let that keep your Friday going.
Oh, my bad. I messed my phone. Yeah. And people not even paying attention to what's really going on. That's the sad part. It's like we sitting up here playing, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, we can sit up here and put. Man, I have my phone up. We sitting up here playing. Yeah, I had to cut my phone on because I was listening to, be trying to check the videos I'm gonna play and stuff. Okay. We sitting up here laughing like it's playing, and people, not us, I'm saying people don't see the realness going on. Like, and I get what you're saying, far as the pressure y'all up under. Like I was playing the video earlier when I had y'all to comment on it. When my man, like, you disguising to come in, you bringing the National Guard in. Like, are you serious? What you think gonna happen? How you think this mayor playing here? But the thing is, they can say, "Oh, look how Trump doing," but look how the mayor suppressing the residents here. You can't even do a peaceful protest. You can't even do one here. Come down to council. You can't even really voice your opinion. They call it the people's chamber. No, it's not. It's the dictator's chamber. That's what it should be called. It should never be called the people's chamber. Chambers. I never seen people get put out as much as they did. I retake your time. They even know some, like, I'm not saying far as damn, what's his name? RL. I'm gonna give you a warning, RL. We're gonna throw you out. These people willing to break cases to catch, break rules to catch cases. They don't care because it's not their money. It's not their money. That's just like the school board. Oh, we're going out of town. They letting the school board go out of town and they graduating kids reading at a 4th grade level. Now you tell me what ain't diabolical. You mean to tell me ain't nothing wrong with that? They rewarding people who's not even they. Listen, I don't understand how the superintendent making money. Like his contract not even justifiable to the kids he graduating. I don't even know how they letting Laura, Joyce, Laura, your kids don't even go to no Flint schools, and you on the school board. Diabolical. Shouldn't even be on there. That board should be disbanded immediately. Not a second day. Not a second. It shouldn't even be open. As we getting off the air, we should be hearing how the Flint School Board has been disbanded and let go of the superintendent. Should be just done. You know what, Omar? I'm gonna tell you something, man. And until you can get some people who look, until Flint gets some independent thinkers on that council and not people that can be told how to vote and what to do for, and if you can get some of these Timu Boule members out the way, until you really can deal with this little, like I say, this little weak Boule class in Flint, we're gonna continue to have the same problem. We're gonna until you can get rid of this Timu Boule class in Flint. You know, the ones that want to pull up and they want to show you, hey, this is what we doing. Until you get them people out the way and they stool pigeons, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna continue to be where we going. Now, really, Flint will be it would be. I believe it's gonna be different.
They did the same thing here in DC. They redrew our lines, our ward lines, and so it diversified the wealth so that it wasn't starting to look on paper the way it really is, where majority of Black populated areas are now considered to be poverty stricken, which is crazy, right? Because you would think that you would want to highlight that in a way that would support a city that doesn't have jurisdiction over its own budget to say that you're not giving us enough. But nah, our bootleg got a problem with being associated with poverty and brokenness. So they said we're going to redraw the line. So now we got a whole different kind of factor that's happening as we are experiencing white flight here in DC. That's another thing. In the District of Columbia, we're experiencing white flight, which means that a lot of our democratic representation of whiteness are now leaving the place of power. They're going back where they, feel at home and stuff like that in these end of times and reconnect the community there. And so that is leaving us extra vulnerable because now that means that we are open to people moving in. And when I say people, I mean the stormtroopers need homes. And so now they come in, and I told you in our for our local governance, it don't take you. I think you have to be here for like maybe a year or maybe less than that for certain places of power. So now we really vulnerable, right? We shit out of luck because now if we got real estate, that means we got places available for you to now monopolize our voting system. And so when I have conversations with the boulets who like to brag that they have the ear and the mirror and things like that, and I bring up the fact that we got all these available homes, but we still got more homeless people than we got people going into those homes, they laugh it off. Like I told you, I'm irritated about Last Now, unless it's coming from a comedy special. They shit about this on nobody's roster being yucks to me. That we are in a vulnerable space. And if you got all this money and y'all proud of having access to like all this, we got wealth and things like that, just start putting your fucking money where your mouth at. Start housing some of these people and holding true to the fact that we need community and investing and showing that we can take care of our own so that we can build power in that way. Because at the end of the day, they only capitalize it because we're divided and we're fractured. And when I say we're, I mean Black community first. We're heavily fragmented because we're fighting against each other. And then we need to implement that, ensuring that we can rebuild trust with each other before we start begging people to put trust in others. You hear what I'm saying?
Facts.
So, like, for me and mine, I don't have time to sit and, like, while I like to occasionally catch some yucks, because I may be having some fucked up hairstyles too, boy. And sometimes you gotta reach for low-hanging fruit to find a happy place. And her shit be real fucked up too. But I digress. But in the midst of it all, while I'm finding joy and laughing and clacking fans and, dancing to a go-go beat, I don't have no choices around here but to figure out how to strengthen community and start having conversations with people. So at the end of the day, we can sit here in the chat and talk it out and work it out. It's about what you're doing after you hear Mickey sit here and preach to you about what's going down in Flint and how you utilizing your time. Don't just sit here and keep just being a part of the chat and being Captain Obvious. Mickey ain't sitting here wasting his time to tell you these things and putting money into setting up studio time and taking time away from his family and what he needs to be doing for his family to be dealing through these times to let you people know what's really going on. And I'd like to mention, since I'm on here off the Chitlin circuit for the day, that it takes a lot of courage to get up here and tell the truth and highlight what's really going on, because if y'all like research and history so much, truth tellers disappear. And we are still in times where people are interested in making truth tellers disappear. So, like, we love seeing Mick and Otis, whatever you like to call them, be up here and tell the truth. But this man got to be protected too, because the more you elevate and escalate, the more it becomes dangerous territory. So I don't take it lightly.
Facts.
That Mickey has created a platform for us to come up here and at least talk about it and give you a point of thought to go and do the research. So I hope that on this Good Friday, while you figuring out how to make sure you do your normal routines, that you realize that the revolution is being televised, but it's being monopolized by those who are televising it. And if you happen to get the opportunity to hear the voice of any person that pops up on A10 News Media Group to tell you about what's really going down in their town, you better take it as a blessing and do what you need to do with your time while we got time. And I don't know if we wrap it up or not, Mick, but I feel like that's all I got to say to the people.
We can wrap it up on that right there.
Oh, man. I like it.
Hey, we can wrap it up on there anyway. Facts, people. Like I said, and I want to shout out just the Thought Crew, Yogi G and Anna for tapping in with me this morning and stuff to bring y'all this news of what's going on. Nah, seriously, and I do agree with you that because believe me, it's rough. Believe me, we get death threats on a regular. All the time we don't speak about it. You know what I'm saying? We catch hell, but this is what you're gonna go through. You know what I'm saying? I know, and I see why a lot of people turned me down doing certain shows. Like, hell no, man, I'm not doing that no more. Like, nah, they was like, nah, like, nah, because we didn't have people on here, man, that had lost jobs from doing this, lost jobs. So believe me when I tell you, and thank everybody that donated on this, but we will be back. Like I said, she had 60% of some tea she got. And when she get the full, y'all will see us this evening at 6 o'clock. Stay tuned. Peace, family.